Now let us go to the next option, which is go to column. I think which we already saw that in one of the transformation. Here, I guess we can select column types, right? In the very first home ribbon, choose columns, go to column. The same go to column is also available as a separate thing. Select that and it will ask you to which column do you want to go. That's all. Okay. So always allow. So this is related to parameters. As you can see, the section is related to parameters. Okay. In this section, basically, we already just now learned about parameters, right? So it is related to parameters. And parameters can be used in many different situations. Okay. But this always allow parameters will come handy when you are trying to, kind of create a dynamic connection to a data source. Okay. So what does that mean? So let us do a quick, demonstration of this always allow. So what I do is I'll just open up a new Power BI desktop instance, because for that I need to show you a demonstration of connecting to a database. So that will be more helpful, because whenever you plan to connect to a development database, or you're connecting to a testing database or a production database, you can directly use these parameters, connect it, instead of every time you can manually connect and do that. You can directly use this parameter. So let us quickly do that implementation. Okay, I'll go to transform data, because I wanted to make sure this always allow parameter. I mean, the parameter option is checked. Always allow. Go to this view, and I'll make sure this is checked. Okay, it's checked already. Click on this. So when you have checked this, you have a better edge. Let's say let's say I wanted to connect to SQL Server. Okay. So when you have already seen this, right? We have connected to SQL Server database. We were entering our server name, database name, next step, right? But instead of directly entering the server name, we can create one option here. You can see on the left side, we have something called ABC. When you click on it, we have something called parameter. You click on new parameter. So this will create a parameter for your server name. Instead of typing in the server name, you can create a parameter for it and say, my parameter name is Metaverse, right? My system name is Metaverse. Okay. So I can click on OK, right? It picks up only server name, not Metaverse. If earlier we have just entered the Metaverse, but here we are creating parameters. Similar with this other case, database name. What I do is I'll create a new parameter for database name. Okay, database name. So I remember I have this AdventureWorks database. AdventureWorks EW 2022. I think this is what we have. If I'm not wrong, let's see. Click on OK. So these two parameters are created. If you observe on the Power Query editor, automatically those two parameters are also showing up here. Okay. You click on OK. It will try to establish a connection by picking up those default Metaverse and AdventureWorks DW 2022 as a values, and it is fetching the data directly from my database. Since I've already connected it for the first time, the sign-in option has not come in, although otherwise there's an additional step that we've already seen, right? While connecting to database, that pop-up would come. Okay. So now we'll select any table just for the discussion purpose, dim employee. Click on OK. So now the data that is coming to your Power Query editor is a parameterized one. So if you can closely go to advanced editor and observe the query, here it is not picking up Metaverse or the database name. It is using parameters. This hash server name is nothing but the server name parameter. Hash database name is a parameter. So within the query, it is picking up a couple of parameters and picking the data from there. That means you can change the server name to your production server name and change that particular database directly by changing a parameter value instead of establishing a connection. It's like a dynamic step that you have taken care. Okay. So this is how the allow parameter. So this is able to come when you are, it's checking up this option. What happens that time, it will allow you to, hover. That means let me click on close and apply. I'll show you. So that checking of that particular option will allow you to directly do that changing from here on the report canvas or canvas view. Okay. As the data gets loaded. Okay, got only 296 records. Cool. So that means, so you start building your visuals, right? So here directly from the transform data, there is an edit parameters. So since you have done a check mark there, it is showing up here on the screen. That means your report after building can directly repoint it to production. Directly change the server name to production. Right now I do not have that server name, but I'm just giving you. And when you change the respective database, automatically the report you build is repointed to that. Instead of you repointing and doing a lot of other changes, simply by using these parameters and making sure you check that option, right? This works pretty good. Okay. So this is all about always allow option in parameters.